Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the Made by Mumino podcast. My name is Kathryn and I'm filming today again in Mönchengladbach in Germany, and this is a knitting podcast where I talk about all the projects that I'm working on, any test knits, that kind of thing. So yes, thank you very much for joining me and welcome if you're new here, and a massive welcome back if you've been here before. I'm holding this cup very gingerly because it's really hot. It's a freshly made cup of tea. I think it smells like peach tea. My partner made it for me just now. So it's a bank holiday today, a public holiday. So happy Easter if you celebrate. So I'm recording on Monday the 21st of April. And yes, today is a public holiday in Germany. So there might be extra pauses if there are people moving around or sort of noises outside or whatever, because it's not a normal quiet Monday. So yes, I've got lots to talk to you about today. Lots of finished objects, which is, somehow I've managed to finish loads of finished objects. Somehow I've managed to finish lots of things at the same time. I'm not sure how that's worked out. Quite a few things to show you. And what else? I was just going to say something else. Oh yeah, yes. So all the things that I talk about are linked down below, as well as how to find me on social media and on Ravelry, that kind of thing. And I link all of the yarns, all of the projects, everything like that. But if you have any questions, do feel free to mention it down in the comments. Also, I'd love to hear what you're working on at the moment, if you're doing any test knits and things as well, because a few people have got in contact with me recently who are in the same groups that I am, which is really, really nice. I also put chapters in, so if you're not interested in any of the sections, feel free to skip through and let's do this. Let's get started. So I'm going to put this down. It's very hot. Okay, so today I am wearing my Hunaja sweater, and I've been wearing this so much. I wore this out for dinner last night. So my partner is Greek. He was born here in Germany, but he has Greek citizenship. Orthodox Easter was this weekend as well, so we managed to celebrate both at the same time, which is really nice. We went out to a local Greek restaurant last night for a delicious family meal. It was lovely. Yes, I wore this, hence it being a bit creased in the elbows. So the reason I'm wearing this today, excuse me, is because Anina Uti, the designer, she released this pattern on Saturday. So it was a re-release. It was initially in a knitting magazine a couple of years ago, but she's made some changes to the shoulder construction. She's added optional bust darts, which I didn't do. So she had a small group of testers, and it was re-released on Saturday. So if you're watching this today, on Monday the 21st of April, I believe that she's doing a 10% discount up until the end of the day today. So yes, it's a really good time to pick up the pattern. And this is a gorgeous lace yoke. You've got, I've got my hair in the way. Got a short collar, just a normal rib, and then there's a little bobble section. You can't really see it so well in this darker yarn. That's the problem with testing when you're using darker yarn. Often some of the design elements are lost. But yes, there's a little cable detail area, and then it goes into the lace. And it's really, really pretty. Very easy to wear, nice boxy fit. I always have the problem with yoke sweaters that I'm very short here. So there's always a little bit of extra fabric, but honestly, it really doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's a really nicely fitting garment overall. I do like that we've got folded hem details here, and again on the bottom hem of the jumper as well, it's a folded hem. I just think it's really, really nice. There's no reductions as you're going down the sleeve, so it just creates this really nice relaxed boxy fit, and nice and easy to wear. The design is for fingering weight yarn, and the recommended needle size is a 3.5mm, which is a US 4. And it has 9 sizes going from 82 to 163 centimetres, or 32.5 to 64.25 inches. So it's nice and size inclusive as well. I made the 4th size, but I got the dimensions of the 5th size. So I initially signed up for the 5th size, but when I did my gauge swatch, I was getting a really big gauge. It's partly my fault because the yarn that I was using was slightly heavier than recommended. So yeah, the dimensions came out closer to the 5th size than to the 4th. I stuck exactly to the pattern, apart from on the length of the body. I made it slightly cropped because I'm quite short in the body and I tend to wear things with dresses and skirts and things, so I find that it just suits my style better to have it a little bit cropped. Also an advantage because it's quicker to knit. But yes, I used 2 cones of woolly knit, British 4-ply held double. So woolly knit is quite it's sold as a fingering weight, but it's quite a thin fingering weight. It does bloom, but I was finding that the gauge when it was held by itself for this, it wasn't quite there, so I held it double, as I often do in projects. And what I actually did in this was hold 2 different colours together. This sort of a dark blue colour and a pine forest green colour, and it just created this really nice sort of peacocky effect. I don't know if I pull the sleeve down, you can see the different colours in there. But yeah, really happy with this, and I've worn it loads. And I just thought I'd show it to you again because it's just been released. Just a reminder in case you were after the pattern. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about this. Very well written pattern. The chart for the yoke is also written, as written instructions as well, if charts aren't your thing. So yeah, really nice accessible pattern, definitely recommend, and I would definitely apply to knit for Anina Uti again. It was a really nice test knit. Okay, let's move on to the next finished object. Okay, my first finished object you've seen a couple of times whilst I've been making it. It is this Ranunculus. I am thrilled with this, although I haven't actually worn it yet. There's a particular skirt that I want to wear it with, and it just hasn't been warm enough the last couple of days, so fingers crossed it'll be warm enough today. I can go and take some photographs. So this is my Ranunculus. I followed the, so I think a year or so ago, Midori Hirose, the designer, she released an update to the pattern which had more sizes, because I think originally the pattern was only in 1 size. So I have a 120cm-ish bust, which is I think about 48 inches. And this pattern is designed to have a lot of positive ease, and that's not really my thing. I find that because I'm quite short in the body, because I'm quite full in the bust, in my eyes I look swamped when I wear something with too much positive ease, and I find it much easier to wear something with less positive ease. That's just my personal preference. So when I was knitting, I've knit 2 Ranunculuses now, and I've just stuck to the original pattern, but continued for the final increase section. So I've made lots of notes on Ravelry. Obviously it's a paid for pattern, so I can't give numbers and things, but I did the yoke to pattern with the larger cast on for the larger neck hole, which hopefully if I do some pictures today I'll include some here, but if not I'll put them on Instagram sometime this week. For me the neckline is still not that much bigger than this. It's still a reasonably tight neckline. I think what I might do if I make another one of these is start after the first increases on the neckline, and do maybe an I-cord or something like that for the neck, just to have a slightly more open neck. So yeah, I followed the pattern for the yoke as described, and then as you'll see here there is the raglan section. So when I was doing that raglan section I just added some extra increases until it was the size that I wanted. It's the beauty with the raglan, it's so easy to customise, and you can just keep going until you're happy with the depth of the armhole or the width of the yoke or whatever it is. You can put in just some straight rows without any increases at all if you just want to increase the depth without increasing the width. It's not too difficult, and when you're knitting on such a large gauge, it's not too arduous to just rip back if you go too far, or if you need a little bit more ease or whatever. So So yes, again, I made this quite cropped and I made it a 3/4 length sleeve. And I'm really happy with it. It's a joyous colour. This is yarn from the WE Yarn Company, from the lovely Ross there, and it's called Generic Sweet Reference, which is hilarious. Yeah, to avoid calling it some sort of, I don't know, ice cream reference or whatever. But it's got these lovely little flecks of neon all over it, a little bit of pooling at the front, but I'm absolutely fine with that. I was a bit naughty. I didn't alternate my skeins, which I really should have done. One of the skeins I had was slightly more green in the background than pink, so I used that one for all of the cuffs, just to tie that in. I think I've got a complete skein of this left over, so I might make a matching hat or something to go with it. So I made this on 5.5mm needles, which is a US 9. I think the original pattern calls for a 6mm needle, but as I said, it's so easy to customise a raglan, just keep knitting it until it's big enough. But yeah, I think next time if I make this again, I'll definitely think about how to do the neck hole a little bit differently, just to have it a little bit more open for a summer top to go over a vest or whatever. But yeah, really, really happy with that. Really soft, gorgeous yarn. So the Ard DK from Ross is 100% Polwarth, and it's after blocking as well. I mean, before blocking it was lovely. It's so squishy. It's really plump, and yeah, looking forward to wearing this. And yeah, it's just a very joyful sweater, very joyful colours. So that is my finished Ranunculus. And there's not really anything else to say, because I think, I don't know, maybe it's the most popular jumper pattern that's ever been written. I think there's something like 20,000 projects on Ravelry or something. It's absolutely insane. But there must be a reason for that. And it's a really nice pattern, it's really easy to wear, and it's very easy to customise. So yeah, there's no wonder it's so popular. So my Ranunculus, hopefully there'll be some photographs later on today, if not later on this week. Okay, my next finished object is a little shawllet. It's super pretty. I got this the right way around. There we go. This is the 100 Acre Wood shawllet from Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade, and yeah, it's very pretty. As with all of Helen Stewart's patterns, they're so beginner friendly because of the way that she lays it out. I find them very low stress patterns. They're really nice and easy to follow because you can mark as you're going down. She writes each row out with a stitch count at the end, with a percentage that you finished. It's usually colour coded if you need to do a gradient or something. In this instance, there's options to do this little shawlette using just one skein of fingering weight yarn, or it goes up to 5 skein. I think I said 3 skeins in the last episode, but no, you can do a 5 skein gradient with this, which is amazing, and it's all laid out ready to do that. There's a plane going over. We live near us, the flight path for Dusseldorf Airport. So we often get the planes coming in doing their final descent, but we also live near a small private airport with a flight school in it. So often we get these little, like, I don't know, they're not biplanes, but these little propeller planes going over and stuff. It's so cool when they do a historic flight day or something, and there's loads of historic planes and things, and it's really cool. Anyway, where was I? Yes, so this is available as a paid for pattern from Helen Stewart, and as with all of her patterns, as I said, really, really nice and simple to follow, and not a mindless knit, because when you're doing lace normally you can put in stitch markers and you have regular increases along throughout the lace work, like when you're doing a yoke or something. But with this, you're making increases on either side of the rows. So it doesn't keep that continuous sort of pattern of where the lace or yarn overs or whatever occur. So you do need to keep your wits about you a little bit, and I'm sure that I've made mistakes in this. It honestly doesn't bother me, unless it's a test knit where I tend to be a bit more finicky. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me if there's a few mistakes here or there. So I followed the pattern for the small skein, as I said. The only thing that I changed was at the end, instead of doing the picot edging, I did an I-cord bind off Two reasons for that. Firstly, this was a mini make-along that I did with my mum, and we had the same skein of yarn and we decided to cast on the same shawl together, so she chose this pattern. Good choice, well done Mum. We can tell them apart. I did a different edging. Also, I'm just not the biggest fan of picot. I have done it a few times. I have clothing with a picot edge, but I just prefer the clean look of an I-cord, if I'm honest. But having said that, my mum's picot edge one looks gorgeous. So yeah, it's a really pretty, nice and easy pattern. I made this in La Bien-Aimée sock yarn. So this is Merino Super Sock, 425 meters per 100 grams. So it's a 75-25 nylon merino yarn in colourway Hegelia, I think you say. I'm not sure how to say that. There we go. Can you see that? Is that focusing? No, it's not, is it? Come on, do your thing. Hey, there we go. My finger was in the way. So yeah, really happy with that. Nice little special skein of yarn, and yeah, little extra thing to wear around your neck under a coat or something if you need a bit extra in the spring. So very pretty. I'm flying to Wales this week. My mum and I are hoping to go to Wonderwall, as I've said before on many previous episodes. And yeah, you never know, might try and do a little joint photo shoot, or there already are some photos of me wearing this on Instagram. So yeah, that was a really fun little knit in between all of the other task knits and things that I'm doing. So that is that. Okay, the next thing I have to show you is, or are I should say, my finished Kura socks. I can't decide if these are the best socks in the world or the ugliest socks in the world. Maybe a bit of both. They are very thick and squishy. How can I hold these to show you? There you go. These are from a recipe by Miss Evil Knits, and I will post the link down below. There is no pattern for these. There's nothing to download. It's a series of, I think, 4 YouTube videos that she's put together on how to make these. I did make some changes from her construction just because of my personal preference. So these are knit with knitted and held double, and all the way through I had a little bag of scraps, and all the way through I just always held a dark colour with a light colour and then changing them as I went along. So I've just pre-wound lots of little balls. So these are sisters, not twins. But yeah. I wanted a thick pair of squishy socks that I could put in hand luggage to wear as slippers if I go away somewhere for the weekend or whatever, because I get cold feet. It's, you know, it's a thing, and I don't want to have to take my enormous, great big heavy Birkenstock slippers with me everywhere I go, because, you know, they take up a lot of space in hand luggage. So this seemed like a good alternative. So yes, this is with knitted and held double. They are very squishy. I made some adaptations, as I said. The pattern on Miss Evil Knits vlog is from the bottom up, from the toe up, but I made them from the cuff down instead, just because I like to do a heel flap and gusset. I just like the way it fits. I know exactly my stitch count and everything that I need to get a sock that fits me really nicely. But I did take use of, I can't see it very well because the light, that's better. I did use her grass stitch motif all the way through. It's really simple. It's a 2-row repeat that she explains really well on her blog. So go and check that out if you want to. And yeah, the top is just a really nice garter panel that I've folded over because that's probably how I'm going to wear them. But yeah, knitted and held double throughout. Oh, the other adaptation that I made was on the sole. I reinforced it all the way down by knit slip, and then doing a plain knit row every alternate row, just to make it a bit thicker. I'm hoping that when I wear them, these are going to felt a little bit as well, just so that they make a really nice sturdy little slipper. It's tempting to make these way too big and then to try and felt them as well. I might have a go at doing something like that. And sort of make a small slipper out of Newton at some point, but but yeah, we shall see. So I started those ages ago, and I had the motivation because I knew I was going away this week to finish them. And my parents live in an old farmhouse up in the mountains in Wales, and yeah, it's always cool in the house because of the big thick stone walls and everything. So yeah, yes, I'm originally from Wales. I forgot to mention that. I know I sound really, really English, but I'm originally from Wales, and yeah, so I'm going to be making full use of those this week, hopefully. So, Kura Socks from Miss Evil Knits. I should have said, and I forgot to mention, I did these on a 3.25mm needle, and which is a US 3, and they're not too tight in the gauge. I'm pretty happy with how they've turned out, and I think that was pretty much the size that she recommended for those as well. So yeah, that is that. And then we can move on to test knits. So I'm making the Florence sweater for Eleanor Mortensen, and I'm well into the yoke, which is fantastic. I did my gauge swatch last week, and I'm using 2 different yarns of different weights. So this is Castor Lace, also from We Yarn Company, that I picked up at a yarn fair a couple of weeks ago, and it's just such glorious colours. I couldn't say no and walk away from it. And then my main colour is this Mondeem, and it's just really gorgeous. I've got some unstarted skeins here to show you, that might be better. So yeah, here's the Mondeem. And thank you so much to people who commented on the last episode telling me more about this yarn. I mean, it was something that I've wanted to try for ages, but learning a bit more about the history behind it and its sustainability and the fact that it's a no nylon sock yarn and everything, it was just really interesting. So thank you so much to the people who commented on the last episode. So this is a Portuguese yarn, and it does have an interesting history if you're interested in where your yarn comes from. So yeah, I suggest doing a bit of research on it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It might be my new favourite fingering weight non-superwash, just generic colour yarn. It's yeah, really nice to work with, and it seems to block up really nicely. And the contrast colour that I'm using as a complete skein is this. I mean, that's just incredible, isn't it? Ross's eye for colour is gorgeous. So he's a Scottish dyer, but he lives in Nijmegen in the Netherlands with his partner, and he just makes gorgeous yarn. There's nothing else to say about it. This is Castor Lace, which is 50% Falkland Merino, 25% Gotland, 25% Corriedale, and it's very soft. I love that he's included the Gotland in there. It's got a nice long staple length, and it just seems to be making a very stable yarn that's blocking really nicely. The meterage is 650 meters per 100 grams, which is skinny, but if you have a look on Instagram, I swatched this held single with this, and it worked. It was absolutely fine. I wanted to make a bit more of a colour pop, so I'm holding it double. So I'm doing a centre pull ball, so I'm holding it with itself, and it's working really, really well, and I'm really happy with it. But yeah, this is a custom base that Ross has just started carrying, a custom base for him, and as always, his colours are just incredible. It was so funny when I went to his stand at Preda. I fully intended to get something for this test knit, and I showed him the Mondeem, and we both just instantly went for this particular colour, just in different areas. We just went for it because this has got what looks like a sort of beigey, not beige is the wrong word, it's like a grey-brown undertone to it, which seems to match with this really, really well. And as you'll see now, it's working well. In fact, I might use this in the thumbnail as well. So it's a bit difficult to show you as yet, because I haven't separated for sleeves yet, but that is incredible. And I showed it to my dad, and I was talking to my parents the other day. I don't know if you've ever done it, but you can get a piece of paper and scribble all over it in different coloured wax crayons, and then paint using just normal poster paint over the top. And when it's dry, you can scratch off the paint in different designs to reveal the wax that's underneath. And my dad thought that it looked a little bit like that, and I have to say I agree with him. It's just, joyful, really joyful. So this pattern is, typical Eleanor Mortensen, just a very, very pretty yoke design. She does incredible colour work yokes. Mine is going to look a bit different, I think, from the other people who are testing this. So I've had to go down a needle size because the yarn that I'm using is a little bit skinnier than the recommended. So I think that, where is my iPad? This design is, if I get it up, I really should have done this before. Yeah, this design is for 3.75mm needles, and the gauge is 23 by 29 rounds in 10 centimetres, and I wasn't getting that at all. My row gauge is totally out. So in the design, you're meant to split for the sleeves like part way through the colour work in the yoke, but I was a good 3 centimetres off the right length. I did try and split for the sleeves a little bit around that kind of area, and I put it on barber cords and I tried it on and it fit, but it wasn't comfortable, so I've just had to continue with the colour work, unfortunately. So mine is going to look slightly different because the colour work is supposed to come down to here, but I think on me it's going to be about there somewhere. Now Eleanor's really kindly said that I can do a 3/4 length sleeve because I'd like this to be more of a summer weight. I'm thinking I might continue the colour work down the sleeves as well a little bit, so you picking up that spot motif just to make up for the difference in the yoke, but I'll see how it goes. I'll see how I get on. But I cannot complain about the outcome so far. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Really, really happy with it. It's just such a shame that my row gauge is really off. It's totally my fault for using yarn that's skinnier than the recommended kind of sport weight sort of yarn. But if you have a look on, I don't know if people have posted much on Instagram yet, but certainly in the chat on Ravelry with the different testers, the colours are incredible that people are going for. Now I've gone for just one yarn held as my contrast colour, but some people are using a variety of different colours and picking up the motif in different ways, and it's just there's just something really special about making a colour work yoke your own, definitely. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. The deadline isn't until the, I think, 15th of July or something, June, sorry. So there's loads of time to do this. And yeah, I'm taking my time and really enjoying that. So that is the Florence sweater from Eleanor Mortensen, coming soon. And as you can see, it's bringing a smile to my face. So yeah, if you're also in the test group, hello. Because I know a couple of you were commenting on that, which is really nice. Okay, and then the last thing to show you is another test knit. This one is for Jessica McDonald, and I haven't done much so far with this one, just swatched for it. That's my little gauge swatch, not much to see, but I just picked out a couple of details from the colour work, and I'm happy with it. Seem to be getting gauge, which is nice. Might go down a needle size, but I'm quite happy with the fabric that I'm getting, so I don't really want to change that. So I'm making this. In fact, I'll put a picture up here for you because I haven't told you what I'm doing. This is a raglan tee with colour work around the just above the hem at the bottom of the body, and it goes all the way around the body. And this I'm making in a size 5. Oh, I should have said the Florence sweater. Where is it? Gosh, I should have got a bit more organised, shouldn't I? I'm sorry. The size for the Eleanor Mortensen sweater, it comes in 13 sizes from 38.1 inches up to 70.8 inches, or 97 centimetres to 180 centimetres, and I am making the 5th size, but it's coming out a little bit closer in size to the 4th size in terms of the depth that I'm getting. In the width, I seem to be okay on the stitch gauge. But it's my own fault for choosing different yarn, and why it's very important to gauge swatch and to keep measuring as you're going along, because then you can plan for these things. because in theory you can use pretty much any yarn with any pattern, but you do need to gauge swatch and do some maths and work out what you need to do. So the Jessica McDonald pattern comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sizes, from 35.25 inches up to 64, or 88 to 160 centimeters. And yeah, a really, really pretty pattern. Again, I'm doing the 5th size, and I'm getting gauge, so I think I'm happy with that. And yeah, again, nice long deadline on this one, first couple of weeks of June, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm using, unfortunately, I know this is so annoying for you, but a discontinued yarn. This is Kremke Lazy Linen, and it's just a really pretty blend of merino, I think it's merino, and linen, so it just says wool, could be anything. So yeah, really nice. I think a good alternative to this would be, what's it called? Purl Soho Linen Quill would be a really good alternative to this. Very, very similar, which is, I think it's an 80-20, yeah, 80% wool, 20% linen mix. So yeah, using that, and I have several skeins of this gorgeous brick colour. This will be perfect for the summer. I'm so excited to be able to actually wear this. And then my contrast colour is this, which is, where is the label? This is Shawl, and it's their Alb Lino, which I think is also an 80-20 mix. Gosh, they always hide the information on this. Where is it? So this is the natural colour, and it is 85% wool, 15% linen, so a slightly different mix, but it's working together. They're playing nicely together, put it that way. And I definitely won't need to use all of this. So, so yeah, I'm using that for my contrast colour, so yeah, looking forward to it. I think that's all I need to talk to you about today. I don't have any future knitting plans at the moment. I would like to cast on something for my partner. I've got lots of West Yorkshire Spinners Croft Aran in a light grey colour, and I was thinking I'd like to do a cable jumper for him. Maybe the Moby sweater, something like that. But if you have any ideas for nice all over cable jumpers, please do let me know down in the comments, because it'd be nice to hear other people's ideas as well. When that happens and people are really kind enough to make suggestions, I tend to then make a bundle in my Ravelry group as well, so that other people can have a look and see what was suggested. So yeah, I don't have any acquisitions to show you today either. I've been very reserved and restrained, I should say. Also haven't really been to any yarn shops. And also I'm saving my pennies for going to Wonderwall hopefully next weekend. But I have succumbed, and I've bought myself, or I've ordered myself, an advent calendar from Het Volbeest. A few people messaged me about it. I did already know, but thank you so much. People message me all the time with Moomin related stuff, which I love. Thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. But that designer is doing, I think, 6 or 7 different themed advents this year, one of which is Moomin themed. And she's just down the road from me near Roermond. It's only a half-hour drive away. And it would be rude not to. So I've gone for the option with 4 different skeins, and I think it's a gradient with the BFL sock base. And it was Moomin related. I couldn't say no. So I'll put a link for it down below as well, just in case you're interested and you want to go and have a look. But she's also doing themes from Wicked and Dune, and I can't remember, just other really pretty themed palettes as well. So so yeah, go and check it out. I've never bought an advent calendar before. I find them a little bit stressful. The idea of having something that's a surprise, I have no control over it, and I don't know what to make with it. It'll be fine. Just breathe. The yarn will be beautiful. I will wait and it will speak to me. But I will probably make an anthology shawl from Helen Stewart, because I haven't made one yet. And they are lovely, so I'll probably do that. So yes, as I haven't been to a yarn shop, there's no tour this week, but right at the beginning you will have seen a very short piece of footage from the local weekly market here in the town centre. So my partner and I, we usually walk up to the market every Saturday morning, go and get some breakfast and do a little bit of shopping, buy some flowers, that kind of thing. But there's a really, really cute little gift shop there called Harmony 20, and it's run by a really nice local lady whose name has totally escaped me, but all of the things that are sold there are made by local artisans and artists and designers, and it's all handmade, and they sell just really nice things. We wanted to get a little gift for my niece, my partner's niece, because she's just finished high school. She's about to do her exams and things here in Germany, but she's just finished, so we wanted to get her a little gift to say congratulations. So I thought I'd show you something different and take you on a little tour of a cute artisan shop instead. And after that there's a relaxing walk in the woods. So if you would like to watch that, please enjoy. That's coming up now. But if not, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next episode, hopefully with some footage of a Welsh wool festival. So yeah, happy crafting and see you soon. Bye.